Yo, hustlers, welcome back to another episode of the HustlePedia podcast.
Yes, sir. Today we have the founders of Jeune Studios in the building with us today. One of the hardest clothing brands in Edmonton. So we're gonna talk to them, get into it, talk about fashion, how they got started and everything. So
and he brought us some gear, so
yeah, I appreciate the gear. You guys can see you're rocking it. You already know. So the first question, basically, start off how you two came together, how the brand came together, all about it, the inspiration. Let's get to it.
That's a good question. What answer that?
To be honest, we just linked up in high school, right? So I met this guy in like grade 11, I think. Grade 11, grade 12. No, grade 11, right?
Summer of grade 11.
Yeah, and then like towards like graduation or something like that, we kind of just like, I can't remember how we came up with the idea, but we were just both like talking about how, you know, we always wanted to make clothes, and this guy already had a name idea, and like I had some designs, and we just naturally just started to work together, you know? And then I think a year or 6 months after that, then we were like, yo, to be honest, might as well just start selling shit. And that was like 2019, beginning of 2019.
Yeah.
And from there, we just kept doing, just kept going, to be honest, never really stopped it.
So it took you guys a year and a half of planning?
No, not a year and a half. Like, we came up with the idea, to be honest, and then, what would you say then?
No, I wouldn't say a year and a half. Like, I'd say like
A little less than a year, probably.
half a year.
Something like that, yeah.
From when we really started talking about it to like finishing the actual project.
Yeah.
What was like the first thing you guys released?
Oof. First thing. Okay, so like our first official thing we released was the skull hoodies
And
and
then the logo t-shirts as well.
These logo t-shirts and this one Sade t-shirt. But before then we like put out some stuff, but it was never for sale, like these denim jackets.
Yeah, we had these denim jackets that me and him like found a whole bunch of these blank denim jackets, and we just started like dyeing them, printing stuff on them, and we're like, yo, fuck it, let's just make an IG page. And like luckily the name was available, right? So we made an IG page and we just posted, and we just asked, you know, a couple of the guys we knew, like, yo, just repost this, and it actually like, you know, it moved pretty like quick. Yeah, it moved pretty quick.
Yeah.
And everyone wanted them at some point, but we just never, I don't know, we just kind of off the whole like the denim jacket idea, and then we jumped onto the hoodies and the t-shirts.
Yeah, I think definitely in style too, t-shirts, tracksuits, a lot of those, like, you know, and your guys' tracksuits are pretty hard as well, some of those. So how'd you come up with the name? You're the one that came up with the name initially, or how was that?
Yeah, I mean, the name, I don't know how I came up with the name, but like, the name just came one day, you know, and then I brought it out to him, and he fucked with it, so, yeah, to be honest. But what the name means is jeune means young in French, but a lot of people misconstrue it, like, think like, oh, jeune, like, it means like, oh, you have to be like young or something, or a certain age, but no, like, the name is really like, just like the mentality you have, you know, it's like the state of mind you have, so it doesn't matter what age you are, but like, it's just that attitude and that mentality you have that when you're young, and keeping it like throughout whatever age. So that's what jeune means, really.
That's a deep meaning.
Yeah.
So when did you think that, like, you know, I mean, people go through phases of starting off and stuff, but when was it really like, you were like, this shit is it, like, we're gonna do this?
To be
Was there a
honest,
time between you two where you were like, yeah, like this is it?
for me at least, I know for Joey for sure, like before we even started selling shit, we were like, yo, this is gonna be big. Like we actually didn't care. Like we're just gonna do it. We knew we wanted to do it, and we knew that in terms of, you know, like the way we think and what we think looks good, and, you know, how to market stuff, we kind of just were on the same like page for everything. So that was like a no-brainer, right? But I'd say, to be honest, the year into doing it, when we like dropped the first like color of the tracksuits, that's when we knew, like, yo, it's like good. Like we saw consistent growth, consistent sales, customers we didn't know. To be honest, once you start selling to people you don't know, that's when you know, like, okay, I'm doing good, right? Because it's easy to sell to like the homies, and easy to sell to niggas you know and shit like that. But to be honest, when you sell to people you don't know, like you see a name pop up in your order, and you're like, yo, who is this? Or it'll be like a different city or a different country. Then you're like, okay, I think we're like, you know, we're on the right path. Yeah.
Is there, well, like, what's the craziest country? Is it like?
We've had Australia, England. I think we only so far only had one Asian country, but to be honest, like Australia is probably the farthest one. Which is like weird because like bro, I don't know a single person in Australia, you know, like. But
we've had all over. Like
yeah, definitely like most areas we've at least had a couple of customers for sure, right? You know, but I think UK is the most. If it's not in Canada, States, UK is the most for sure. Yeah, UK is the most.
UK, Australia. It's a lot we're forgetting, to be honest. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all over the world. That's why.
Yeah, I guess.
For sure.
But did you ever, like you guys said, you guys didn't care, you guys already started, you know, but the biggest thing, I guess you could take any arts, clothing brand, or music, or whatever you want to take, for example, judgment's the biggest thing somebody worries about, right? And then what are people going to say? I'm starting this, like, what's the response going to be, blah, blah, all that stuff. How was your mindset during that process where you just like, fuck it?
Oh, no, we would never worry about what people would say. That was never a worry.
No, it felt so natural.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like, you know, you're getting on stage and doing something like embarrassing or like crazy. It was just, it was just natural. Like, bro, really, what are people gonna say? You know, same with your guys' podcast, like, you know, like, like what are they gonna, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with doing it. And like when we immediately like kind of saw support and love, like it didn't feel weird at all. I never like doubt. I never had a second guess or anything.
No, there was never no doubts.
Yeah.
That's always good, yeah.
That was good.
You had doubts, but those clear enough as we went.
But yeah, but you know what I mean? Like you, bro, to be honest, who cares what people think, bro? Like,
Yeah, you know why? To be honest, there was never no doubts just because like when you put in the time and like you're really like us, we're students of the game. So like when you know what you're doing, you do your research and stuff, and you're ready for the opportunities, it's like there shouldn't be no doubts, you know?
No, true. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, because a bunch of people just rush into like things without taking actual time.
For sure. That's actually like the main thing. Like we didn't really know what we were doing in the beginning either, but we made sure, we're gonna like do our research and ask for no handouts. Don't ask no one how to do this or that. You know, do it our way, right? So no one can say anything about us if you do it your way. But like Jory says, students of the game, you know, like take your L's, take your W's. And like that's the way you just demand respect. You know, no one can really say anything about you if like you just do it your way, and you know that's it's as simple as that, really. You know.
That's good. And even like let's talk about like the scene in Edmonton, because I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of clothing brands have been coming up, right? It's good to see that a lot of people are working towards that and different stuff and stuff. What do you guys are gonna make sure to differentiate yourself from all these clothing brands that are coming up?
That's a good question.
What do you think? Just be us, to be honest. Like that's all you can do, right?
Yeah, I just feel like originality, and like to be honest, like every person like they come out the womb different. Like we're not no one is the same. Like me, you guys, we're not really the same. Like we all come from different backgrounds. We all come from different cultures, right? So like each person, I'd say like they have their own niche, their own like goals, you know, stuff like that. So it's like I feel like through the clothing, like we'll like separate ourselves from people. We already have done that. That's it, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd say
Just let the clothes speak for itself, you know? The work.
Yeah, I'd say that separation part's already like out of the way. But to keep like your brand identity and like be your own, like just be yourself. To be honest, like don't get worried about what anyone else does. You know, just focus on your own wins, focus on your own losses, and that's really it. To be honest, like it's as simple as that. Yeah.
Are there any losses that stand out? Like, you guys want to talk about?
There's a lot of losses.
Just like a loss that you learned from, you know, that you
like
gains.
Definitely that. What do you? I'll see. Like you give one, and then I'll give one. Then.
You got one in mind?
For me, to be honest, the biggest losses that are the most annoying is just like order and like supply chain issues. You know.
Yeah.
You know, like I won't really give any specific examples, but like you know, we've definitely had times where you know a manufacturer mess something up, you know, and like once that happens, like you're just there's nothing you can do, bro. Like you just have to like bite the bullet and just like get this, pay for everything else again. Because that's kind of the main thing is where you're dealing with customers, people that are paying you and expecting to get like the product on time and get good customer service, which like we take serious, and that's one. Yeah, so we've definitely had a couple of L's in that we like learned from.
We've had losses like a lot like it's like in business it happens so many times that like you just have to be prepared for it, you know, and be able to have the capacity to just move on from it. And like yeah, there's been times like when we had like a big order, something coming in and it comes in and it's not right, you know. And like we're the type of brand like it's quality over quantity, you know. So it's like we can't put that out, you know. Like we can't like we just can't. So it's like then like you gotta take that loss, eat it, and like hustle like 10 times harder, you know. And just come back straight to it.
That's a good mindset to that thing. So in the fashion industry, anybody that inspires you guys, like how you guys started, or do you look up to somebody? Because I mean, it's such a wide variety of thoughts, perspectives, fashion. That's what it's all about. So from the starting, they kind of stand out to you that you've been inspired.
There's too many. Like I'd say like Virgil, like old Virgil, like back in the day, like young Kanye West, Don C, like different designers like Marc Jacobs, like Matthew Williams, Carl from Chanel, or Ricardo TC, like Givenchy, like there's a lot of like people we look up to. I'd say like growing up to like celebrities, different designers, you know.
Yeah.
I know that job.
Yeah, honestly, like Ye is like a no-brainer, right? I feel like everyone that's like into clothing at some point, like has taken inspiration. He's had so many different like eras, you know, throughout every like, you know, couple of years. So that's someone who's like a constant inspiration, you know, to this day. For me, like growing up, a huge guy that I looked up to fashion was Pharrell. It was a big one for sure. Just cause like just the way he carried himself and the way he dressed. And I kind of saw myself in him too, you know, just the skinny skater guy, you know, big t-shirts, the cargo pants. Like he was dressing like that, you know, for years, right? Like Virgil too, Virgil, especially as like a black creative too. That guy's huge, you know, he's Ghanaian, which shout out to Ghana. Yeah, it's, you know, so for me, it's probably the same list as him too, definitely.
Yeah, I think a lot of fashion designers, everybody who had talked to as well, Virgil and like he has.
Yeah, that one like you can't leave that one out.
Yeah, can't leave those two out.
Because we've been watching those guys since we were kids. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like Virgil and Kanye, like we've been watching Virgil, like not even like Louis Vuitton Virgil or like Off-White Virgil, but like Pyrex Virgil.
Yeah.
Like, Kanye's assistant Virgil, like you know.
Exactly. You know what was that brand with Matthew Williams again?
What, Pyrex?
No, he had another brand with Matthew Williams. It was called like you know what I'm talking about, right? Where he made those t-shirts. But yeah, those guys to be honest were just you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah. But yeah, Virgil's no brainer for sure. Always on my list.
Yeah, the list is long to be honest. The list is long.
I mean, you take inspiration from everybody and then find your own path.
Yeah.
How it works, right?
Even like outside of celebrities, just like our own culture, like I'm Congolese, like I take inspiration from that all the time. Like even John, like for sure.
That's dope to see. Do you think that, like, you guys said that a lot of sales are in the UK, and I'm sure you guys probably know the UK scene of stuff coming up, right?
Absolutely.
So what do you think about that? What's your favorite brands from that? I'm curious, because we all love UK.
Oh, you guys like UK rap, eh?
You like
Yeah,
UK
that's
rap and like the culture. No, UK's amazing. Like the way they like have such a big like fashion network and the way their artists and like fashion designers all like intermingle. You know, something that in my opinion like Canada definitely needs to like get on, right? Obviously it's a lot harder because like we're so spread out.
Right.
You know, like Toronto's like fucking like a whole flight away, whereas like you could take like a bus to London from Liverpool, you know.
Exactly.
But for me, you know, U2 like Lancey Fu for sure. That's a no brainer. You know, he's super fly. His music's amazing. I remember he used to always have that Cardi clone like thing put on him, but he's like super original. Who else?
There's a lot.
Lancey, brands like you know, there's Places Plus Faces, you know, that photo shoot / brand, you know, I fuck with them a lot as well too. That's like literally the biggest example of like, you know, artists and like fashion kind of intermingling and like that becoming like one.
Cortez.
Cortez, yeah. Honestly,
Cortez
that one,
has
like,
been,
I can't forget that one for sure.
Yeah. I think after Trap Star Bud Rich, I think
With Clint, you know, like guys like that, like, you know, regardless of age or whenever they started, like, bro, they're huge, you know, that's a huge inspiration, you know, like getting to that level was like amazing, you know. Yeah.
it's just the exclusivity with Cortez too, like the smaller drops and like classier drops and stuff, and then they go up pretty quickly. I think that's the mindset behind it. How it's very like you can even see the way the owner speaks in his IG. It's very natural. Like it's no like managing team, no nothing. It's
No,
like
nothing.
authentic.
Yeah, it's all like lady said, it's organic.
Yeah.
You know, like definitely like people. You know, you just know it's organic. Like it's not no fake
And
shit.
the way they
It's not-
collab with artists constantly, I feel like that brings a lot of new like faces to the brand every time.
Yeah.
And that's a, like a really good marketing strategy.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, they have great marketing strategies for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially what you said with the artist, especially when the artist comes up, like you've seen Central C, he's always rocking Trap Star because of the, like he's, I think he talked about it in the pod himself that he grew up with the guys that started Trap Star in the starting, and then kind of led to that, and to this day he kind of has a tattoo and stuff, right? So it's like, like Central C is getting so big, automatically brings attention to Trap Star, which is.
And we also went to like a Dave concert like 2 months ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and like this whole tour he was wearing Cortez.
Where was this?
In Vancouver.
You came to Vancouver?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no, like that's
my
the
favorite UK.
that's the thing about UK is like all these guys like I'm assuming just grow up like so close to each other.
Yeah.
Like, you know, London's like that city where like one neighborhood will have like 10 rappers, 3 designers, and it'll be like just one neighborhood. So England is like crazy for that. Like we definitely have a long way to go in terms of
But we're coming for sure.
No, we're coming, but you know, it's up to obviously like I guess everyone needs to do their part and make sure just stay authentic, you know, that's the only way we can actually get to that level.
I think like even like I think it's mostly because on this side of it's seen so much like judgment from everybody. I think that's kind of what the barrier is to like if somebody does something new, people usually have opinions about it, and then that kind of ruins everything. Compared to the UK, they're more like they as a unit, right?
Yeah, they're a unit.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think so. I guess.
I feel like at first Edmonton might have been a little bit more judgmental, maybe like you're saying.
Now it's like
now it's like opening up.
no, people, like at this point, like, yeah, for sure, you're right. Like, even becoming like a rapper or something, like, it was really tough to do, you know? Like, like I don't rap, so I don't know, but I guess like a lot of them probably had to worry about what people think, which now people are like, yo, to be honest, like, if you want to make music, do it.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with that, you know? Like, that's how it should be. Like, there's no way, like, our city's gonna grow or become, you know, like, I guess more respected on the map unless people just let everyone do their thing, you know?
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Like you guys are breaking barriers right now with your podcast, you know? Like you're making a pathway for the next generation.
Yeah, that was inspiration to start off because I feel like what you said earlier, right? Like I see like in the city in general, it's just like start something. Even when we were younger in high school, right? You're like, oh, a rapper, it's constantly like, oh, like you're shit because you're not up, right? And then it's like the first thing somebody that gets big thinks to get out of Edmonton and be like, let's leave, and that's usually the case in people's mind. But then even like throughout the pod, like from when we started till today, we've met so many guys like you guys and stuff that we've realized that the talent in this city, it's there. There's people that are talented in all kinds of areas. I think athletes. We've had friends that dreamt about going D1 and now they are playing D1 football, and it's crazy to think, right? Stuff like that is coming up. Clothing brands are coming up, right? Artists, like when we did the collab with N2S, we realized how talented all of them are, and then stuff like that just kind of opened our eyes, and we want to do the same, opening people's eyes that you don't have to be a top shot to get see people that are hustling, because no matter where you are, you're hustling the same, right? Like you guys are hustling as much as probably a higher brand is because you're trying to get there and make your own exclusive lane and all that stuff, right? So, but nobody sees that because you're from Edmonton, automatically whatever you're doing is shit. So that's kind of what we were, and then even with the pod, we got a lot of hate starting. Oh, you're gonna start a podcast, like it's
No way.
Yeah, it's just gonna be. You're gonna talk
It's
about.
because of like all the images with podcasts. Like all the podcasts are popping at a certain image.
Yeah.
So just when we came out, that was the image around podcast. And like I always say, like just ignore what everybody says.
No, for sure.
But like, you know,
bro, you'll never get anything done if you care what people
Exactly.
think. Like you'll never, and like I never even understood people like judging someone starting off and like being small, like, and they say like, oh, he's not shit, or like, you know, this guy's, you know what I mean, like, because at the end of the day, like, you have to start off somewhere, like, right? Like, no one, like,
every big brand started off somewhere.
Exactly. Obviously, some like probably have some help with connections and stuff, but yo, at the end of the day, that's life. You know, if they have that help, that's amazing. Like, no knock to anyone, right? But everyone starts off somewhere, like, so if you let like people's judgment or people like, you know, I guess like just watching you like bother you, you're not really gonna get nowhere, to be honest. You can never.
Like when it comes to the hate and stuff, like, I don't even watch the hate. Like, to be honest, anytime someone starts something new, you know, it's not going to be like 100% love, you know, at first. It's always going to be like 50-50. Like, if you have a good supporting system, good. If you don't, like, you can't let that, like, deter you from your goal or from your vision. So, like, even us, like, at first, it's not like we had, like, everybody, like, was with us, you know what I'm saying? It took, like, we had to do the work first. We had to believe in ourselves first, you know? And then, like, other people, they start coming around, you know?
Yeah. Which is actually understandable, personally. Like, I don't expect anyone to, like, invest their money or their time into something until, like, you prove yourself, you know? Like, if you don't want to buy anything from me yet because you feel like it's not there yet, then, like, I don't take it personally. It's all business, you know? It's like, that's just how the world is, you know? I don't expect any handouts or people to fuck with us just because it's us or anything, you know? Like, I don't care, you know? And, like, for me, like, my, like, philosophy in life, and I know Jordy's, like, so we always talk about, like, yo, people always, like, they spin around, like, they come back, you know what I mean? Like, the people that, like, they weren't feeling you before, like, a year maybe from now, even 4 years from now, one day, like, they'll just come back. Like, if you just keep doing your thing, like, so it is what it is. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's how life is.
That's literally how life is, man. Like, in every aspect, not just business, just in, like, you know, just keep doing you, and you'll see, like, yo, this is, like, how I should move, you know?
Yeah.
Just want to break the barriers in Edmonton in general, though. Like, people are like, it's like constant. It's like, oh, Vancouver, Toronto, that's more popping, but I don't think that's the case. I really don't think
personally, I think Edmonton, music-wise, is more popular than a lot of places, man. Like, you know, when, like, you know, all the artists, especially the younger guys that are coming out, like, in terms of, like, originality, a lot of Edmonton guys, like, no one else sounds like them, in Canada, at least.
Right.
You know? Like, Toronto also has its own sound. I guess Vancouver does, too, but I think Edmonton's, like, making its own sound, and, like, a lot of artists, bro, they only sound themselves. Like, I can't really, like, point out anyone that sounds like them.
Yeah, like, Toronto was very, like, their own sound and the blew up and everything. Although, like, all that shit that goes down there kind of led to it dying down. But I think, like, everybody was listening to Toronto rap at one time of their life. I think, like, we were all, like, younger. It's just, that's all it was. And then it kind of died down once they all, like, started dying and stuff, which kind of sad, but... But yeah, why don't you change that mindset where people think that, you know, there's people here that are doing shit, and you don't gotta go anywhere else to really make something happen. You can do it from here. You don't gotta be Toronto or Vancouver for the connections or for anything like that, because there's ways out of here too, and that's what we want to show people. And hopefully that podcast keeps doing that as well.
No, for sure. Edmonton right now, like, I'm excited for Edmonton. You know, I'm excited for what the city got going on. Like, creative scene, music scene, fashion scene, like, the art scene. You know. Like, it's exciting, like, a lot of talent, a whole lot of talent, you know? It's coming up. I just feel like if they just keep grinding, you know, people just keep their eye open in their own city, like, for sure. See inside, like, there's a lot of stuff going on right.
I'll just name the map.
Sure.
As much as we can.
That's it.
So you guys are rocking your new season gear? This is the spring, summer?
Oh, yeah. We dropped these tees this summer. So this is like the spring, summer 2022.
Yeah, they're just, you know, basic, like, kind of like essential t-shirts, right? Obviously, we'll have, like, more stuff coming soon. You know, we have a bunch of stuff planned, but we just wanted, like, a comfortable t-shirt, a very, like, basic, comfortable t-shirt, you know, that people could just throw on in the summer. It's, you know, you guys know it's been, like, hot as hell, you know, out there, you know, so, like, just something light and comfortable, and durable as well, you know, like, good cotton and stuff like that. But this is just, like, one thing. There's gonna be, like, a lot more coming. With
Do you
this.
guys have, like, a fall season coming out? Or?
Bro, we have Jeune plans to, like, 2025.
Obviously, things will change in the path, but, like, we pretty much, you know, like...
In terms of design, we have a plan to, like, 2025. It's just about,
the direction.
It's just about, like, because each thing takes time, you know? It takes time to put a drop out. It takes time to make a collection if you want to make a collection. It takes time to make a team if you want to make a team, you know? There's a lot of hours and work that goes into each thing we put out, right? And we take a lot of pride in that. So it's like, so that's why it takes, like, the amount of time it takes. That's why we can't put, like, 100 things out in 1 week, you know, because we take that time into each item, each project, and put our whole focus into it, you know. But in terms of, like, product and design, like, we have this plan, like, we have designs for, like, years down, you know. So
Yeah, and then definitely, because like you said, 100 things in a week is not worth it, because you gotta keep the exclusivity to the brand.
Exactly.
And make it keep it, like, very, like, tight, you know, like really, like like that kind of concept.
Yeah.
I think it makes it more in demand just business-wise. Like, it kind of makes more sense to do that.
Yeah, like obviously if you can, like if you can work with that type of model, like dropping on something, by all means, like do that. You know, like there's nothing wrong with that. Me and Joy just have our way of kind of doing things. That's worked and just makes sense in our head, and we kind of just stuck to it. But yeah, in terms of like what's coming next, you know, just so much stuff planned. We kind of already know like what we want to like look like in the next 3 to 4 years in terms of like growth and you know what we have dropping, all that. So yeah, obviously things can change, but we have a pretty clear like idea of where we want to be. You know,
Where do you guys get this creativity, like to be able to see 3 years ahead?
I feel like, bro, like I said, we're really students in the game, so it's like our whole lives, like we've been into fashion our whole life since we were kids, you know, like John and me personally. So it's like that creative side has always been there. Like I've been like drawing like clothes since I was a kid, like drawing like sneaker designs in class, like drawing Jordans and shit, like different colors, excuse my language, but like that creative side has always been there, I'd say. And in terms of like what we have coming in the future, like it's exciting, you know. We're excited because right now I'd say we're just scratching the surface. Like, we're just getting started. Like, it's like we're warming up, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we have a long way to go.
Oh, super long
way to go, but we're just having fun with it.
You're off to a good start, definitely. Seeing the brand everywhere, seeing a lot of guys rock it. People fuck with it, like you said. I mean, it comes down to people that
nice quality.
Exactly.
Quality is a big thing, you know. Quality.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think that's what differentiates a lot of brands, because a lot of people just print shit and send it out, but you're taking your time.
Exactly.
So you say that you guys have a plan 3 to 5 years. I want you guys to expose your plans, but where do you see yourself in the 5 years? Like what do you expect from the brand? What different do you think is going to be in the next 5 years?
I feel like the goal is to be a staple in Canada.
Yeah, absolutely, staple in Canada.
And then from there on, just being a staple, period.
Yeah, you know, like, you know, that you walk into like department stores, you know, like, who knows, like Barney's, or I don't know if Barney's still open, Nordstrom, you know what I mean? Like just type of thing where it's like, it's kind of beyond just, you know, we don't want to just stick with like just streetwear, that's just a staple and that we grow. And because we're so like, we're pretty young like now, like you know, we have to remember, like as the brand grows, we get older as well too, so hopefully we get like wiser and smarter, so that'll like reflect in our clothing and our work as well too. So yeah, I'm super excited for the next 4 years. Me and George just need to stay consistent, you know.
Like just keep growing, like I'm 21 right now. By the time I'm 22, I want to be like, you know, like 100 steps than what I am today, you know.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all you can work for, you know. Just keep going, keep pushing. And in terms of like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, like it's gonna be big.
That's
big for sure.
We can definitely see that too. Like the way you guys are telling us a story, like it's not, of course, the first time for us hearing it too. So it's dope to hear that, you know, you have your passion about it. Yeah,
for sure. There's a lot of work, you know. It's just putting in the work, you know, putting in the time, putting in the hours, and we take pride in that, you know. We take pride in ownership. You guys should take pride in ownership, like having this platform, you know. Taking pride in the foundation that you guys have built, and building off of it, and continue to build it. It's that same pride that we take in what we have in the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take pride in your art too. Definitely agree with that. The thing with a little bit to the tangent of digital world and fashion, I think you probably heard, seen all that things kind of combining the whole concept. Do you have a plan to enter that? Because you know, you can see that all this stuff that's people are expecting for the digitalized world to go in, like everything going to that side. I don't know if it's gonna be like that or not, but I'm just wondering if you guys have ever thought of that aspect in your plans as well. Like NFTs.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Like, to be honest, I don't know if we'll touch like the NFT stuff personally.
Right.
But yeah, obviously, like, you know, any industry, you have to like, however the industry like moves, like, you know, or starts leaning towards, you have to like adapt to it as well. But yeah, I don't know. I've never, like, the NFT thing, like I was never like super like how do you say this, like sold to it personally. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like for me, I like being able to hold stuff, you know, physical stuff. I love the idea though, like, yo, you can make a buck out of it, like flip it, or like even like digital artists, like a lot of graphic designers are able to make money. Like, yo, that's amazing, right? But I don't know if we're there yet. I feel like we need to be more a bigger, like more solid foundation in terms of clothing. You know, our portfolios, in my opinion, still really small in terms of clothing, right? So like until you're more established there, then maybe I would like look towards that.
For sure.
Oh, that's dope. Any dream collabs down the road that you guys ever thought of? Do you want to
Dream
keep
collab. Dream collab. That's a good question. I don't know. There's a lot of brands that like we obviously like admire, you know, and really like. That's a good question. I don't know. What do you think dream collabs?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like for me, probably like collabs with certain stores, and like you know what I mean, because like then, you know, we can just still focus on just being our own in terms of design. But then like, I mean, you know, adopting whatever that store does, and like we start selling their stuff. Like, see how some brands do a collab with certain stores, and then like they kind of change the design specifically for that store. Like, that'd be a cool idea. But yeah, I don't know. For me, like one brand I think like is really like stands out, but that's mainly just because of their creative director right now, like Balenciaga, with like Demna. Yeah, like to me that's a really cool like the way they're like working. Exactly, like they're very like avant-garde, but like still in like a interesting way, and especially now that Kanye's working with like Balenciaga as well too. Other than that, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. In terms of collabs, it's hard to say. Like, I feel like right now, like there's just so much stuff that we want to do right now. So I don't think we've really dug into like collab. Like,
I don't even know if we're there yet, to be honest.
Yeah,
Even think about it.
Not
yeah.
there yet. You know, We're not thinking there yet. You know,
Yeah.
we're thinking more just like building our own projects. You know, building our own projects, looking into like helping like the future. You know, helping the next generations. You know, like that's what we're focused on. I'd say.
That's good. Yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, honest and authentic. You know, like usually people have like just safe to say, but you guys kept it real, so I appreciate that.
Oh no, for sure, bro. Like, collabs will come in the future.
Of course, yeah, that's part of fashion. I mean, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do for the industry, but things take time, of course, and as you grow and kind of craft your own art, I guess you'll figure it out down the road. I mean, that's no big deal in that. What do you? So, what like I mean, you probably have like a lot of people watching right now probably are sitting in their room thinking they want to start a clothing brand, and I want to know if you could go back to when you guys started. What advice would you give yourself? Because I think that's the biggest barrier we want to break is that first step, because that's the hardest thing at the end of the day. Like you guys said, like it's like once you get going, you guys are going, right? And I think that's what people struggle with the most. We did too, a lot of analysis paralysis, and then we kind of were like, okay, you know what? Like the first video it's just gonna be shit anyways. You might as well just put it out.
Yeah, exactly.
We look back to it and we're like we have like a whole heater playing in the background, like we don't know what we're saying, we're blabbering, all that kind of stuff. So we're talking low and all that. We figured that out as we grew, right? But
then we see the progression. In the
Yeah.
videos,
Mhm.
and then it's a good thing.
Yeah, we realized that we've come. We're now nowhere close to where we want to be, but it's definitely from where we started. But that first step was the hardest thing to take to really get us all together and stuff. So I want to know what you guys would advise for people that want to get into this industry specifically, that want to get started. Like what should be our mindset going into it?
I think number one is doing your research. That's the number one thing. Like doing your research and don't be afraid to like take that L, you know, because the L's will come. So don't be afraid to like take that L. Put in those hours and like just like maintain that hustle mentality, you know, that go mentality. Like when we started, we didn't have like any resources, you know.
Yeah, it was just straight up, just all us, you know, like just working while in school and stuff, and you know, like hustling to like make a buck here and there. But I understand, like, do not be discouraged by like the L's and by like losing money or losing this or losing time. You know, like don't expect it to be easy. That's for sure.
No, it won't be easy.
Like, at all. Like, you
it
know,
won't be easy. Like a lot of people, they just see like, okay, they see Jeune, right? They see like, oh, these guys are doing their thing, you know. But there's like it's more than that, you know. In the start, it's very hard. It's very difficult. Like I'm pretty sure like our first like collection, like we had to like bus, like north side to south side, just to get it done.
Yeah.
Holding boxes of clothes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but people don't see like those hours. People don't see that. They just see like, oh, boom, oh, like Jeune's out here, Jeune's doing this person's doing Jeune, that. But there's a lot of hours. There's a lot of like time that goes in, you know. And in terms of like starting out, like we touched on this subject in the beginning. Like when you're starting out, you didn't have like people that won't believe in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like you have to have that mental toughness. You know what I'm saying? That like, yo, I want this. This is what I want, and I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna do it, and it doesn't matter what no one tells me. It doesn't matter what no one does. I'm gonna finish this mission. I'm gonna finish this job. I'm gonna complete it. And I'm gonna get to where I want to go with this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's the advice we give to like everybody that's coming up in terms of like the next generation. You know, like me and John, we have like a whole generation of kids and younger people that look up to us. You know, so it's like we try to pass that message as much as we can, and anybody that's starting out, like we're always here. Like we're always like answering like calls, like giving different advices to like people that are coming up. Like even the other day we were like playing. We were hooping at LA Fitness, I think.
Yeah.
There was this one younger guy came up to us and was like, yo, like, I'm starting a brand, just that. Like, what advice? So we gave him advice. And that happens so much, you know? So it's like, it's the same advice that we give to, like, everybody. When you're starting out, it's going to be hard, but I'd say stick to it, you know what I'm saying? Stay focused, lower the distractions. And if you know what you want, and if your vision is, like, straight and narrow, then there shouldn't be no issues, you know? You're gonna get those L's here and there, but if you stay focused and keep that mentality to keep going, keep the hustle straight, keep the hustle going, then you'll be straight.
Yeah. I'd say like the number one thing though, for sure, is like if you don't love it or like you know what I mean, you're not enjoying it, like if you're just trying to like do something to make money or like get to somewhere, I wouldn't do it because you're just gonna hate it, you know, because like Jordy explained, the first like a couple of or the first like year you might be doing something, or 2 years or a couple of years, like it's not gonna be all like sunshine and roses, and it's not gonna be like, buckets load of money and no headaches and this and that. Like if it is like, like good for you, but you just need to love it, so if it's, if money's low or problems or issues, this or that, like you need to still like be able to keep going and like not let it affect you. That's the thing about
me and John, like we could be making no money from this, but we probably would still be doing like something like this.
Yeah, for sure. Like even if it wasn't like Jeune, like we just enjoy making stuff, so it would have just been this or that, or like, so it's even if for some reason like God forbid Jeune doesn't work, well, I'm just gonna jump on to the next hustle in the same like category, right? And it'd probably just be me and Jordy again, like so it's like, you know what I mean? It's not like a...
Yeah, like the way it is for us is like the money part, it just allows us to keep going.
Exactly, it's just a tool, Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the same thing as us. So there's no money we're making at all. It's just money going in.
Yeah, so that's how
right? But it's like exponential growth, right? Yeah. It's more like long-term vision is like, okay, it grows to us like a lot of plans with more than a podcast. Right? I never thought just would be a podcast. I just thought it would be a good start because nobody's doing something like that, putting on the city. So maybe we'll start there, grow into that, make it like have different areas of that, and actually give people resources to get started and have that platform for people down the road, because we want to relate to our own stories and our shoes are like, we didn't like same as you guys. Nobody had resources, like people like that don't have handouts. How do they really make it? And I want to show that, and I help people once like you guys are humble enough to help people, right? And it's always good to have that. I want to keep that for ourselves too, and just money is whatever, it'll come back.
You have to pass the knowledge down. You have to be able to help others, bring others up, and I'm saying your stuff, your projects will keep progressing as well. I feel like
100%. Sure. Are you guys still in school, or you guys are out of school now?
Jordy's still in school.
I'm still in school.
I'm not right now. I'm just, just doing my, I don't know. I just have, a whole bunch of other stuff I'm just like working with and everything. So it's, and to be honest with Jeune too, I'm not really even sure if I might go back, but we'll see.
Yeah. Same boat, man. I finally took the first step of not going to school this year.
Oh, really?
I've done 2 years. I gotta get 2 years or less. I just don't see it. I'm working on things that I want to do, and it's more like if I go back, it's school's always there. We can go back whenever.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Just do what you want, really. Like whatever like serves you best and is gonna make you happy. This is what you should do. Like risky, you know. The main thing is you don't want to like live with no regrets. You know, like
Exactly.
right now we're like the youngest we'll ever be, like
Right.
today, right? So it's probably the best to take a risk like now.
No,
like,
yeah, 100%.
take money risks and stuff because it's not as damaging as maybe 10 years from now. So
Why
why not? You know.
While you're young, while you're young, take those risks.
Yeah,
Pretty
for
much,
the
yeah,
brands,
exactly,
exactly
yeah.
the values. But that's what I told my mom. I'm like, you know, like I won't be 20 again, but school will never go away. Like I can go back to whenever. I
Yeah,
can go back
exactly,
to like 25, 28, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I won't get to do all of this stuff like that I'm working on when I'm older,
Mhm.
right? And I just gonna regret better than
Sure.
you know
Exactly, bro.
paying the price of regret. I'd rather pay the price of risk right now and then go from there. So I've been telling her. So it's good finally taking that step. Feels good to have that opening there, you know, and go from there.
That's good, man. Yeah, that's huge. Dude.
Yeah,
That's good.
definitely.
But like you have a big thing going, you guys have a big thing going, like, bro. It's an honor for us to be out here, you know.
No, we appreciate you
Yeah.
guys coming on.
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
seeing it around, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know, we've been talking to like all the guys that are rocking it, and we're like, you know, like this brand's hard. We gotta get them on, and you know, like.
Mhm.
But yeah, we appreciate you guys coming on. I think that was good. People, like you guys kept it very authentic and real, which we appreciate always. That's what this whole podcast is about, keeping it real. So you know, all the people that are watching, I'm sure they got inspired how to get started. You know, and clothing brand, and you guys have a big plans for you guys, and then we'll hope to get you back sooner when you guys are at a higher level than you are right now. And definitely that's what we're doing with all our guests that are starting off, because we want to show this story and see, you know, like the people that were sitting on this table.
Yeah, both was hopefully right by that time. Like,
Yeah,
we're supposed to
100%,
be ready.
100%. That's
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, exactly.
Yeah, and then you want to show that you guys that are hustling and that are working towards something, like it actually is working, so people can keep going down the road.
Mhm.
So definitely appreciate you guys coming to the show, and you know the link is in the bio, so make sure you guys go get yourself some fly gear. It's all there.
It is it? Yeah, okay. Then, yeah,
Yeah,
make
it's
sure
gonna be
you
in there. No,
check
definitely
it
shout out.
before
Like,
it's sold out, please.
Yeah.
please.
Appreciate you guys for this gear again.
Yeah, it's-
No, of course not. Had to. I don't like coming like as a guest and not bring something.
Nah, we appreciate that. We're
Yeah.
expecting that. So Carlos got better with that. I appreciate that.
Mm.
But yeah, definitely make sure you guys get this. It's nice quality. I can tell you I'm wearing it right now. So
Mm.
make sure you guys get to it. And you guys have big plans. So keep an eye. You know, their social medias, personal and the brand social medias, all in the bio. So make sure you guys get at that right now.
Yeah, we'll get that.
Mhm.
Right, these new teas are out right now.
Mhm. And keep an eye out too for new stuff too, right?
Yeah.
Especially.
Like I said, like we're just getting started. We're just getting warmed up. So there's a lot of stuff coming. Like
Mhm.
you guys will see in the near future. So guys,
100%. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Yeah.
let's do the work.
Yeah, we keep an eye on you. Make sure you guys keep an eye too and see what's coming next. Definitely excited for your guys' next drops. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, comments, give them a follow, give us a sub. Help them, help us, help all of us try to grow. And you know,
Exactly.
and if you're watching and get started, I hope that inspired you today. Get started. And if you're thinking, what take your first step? Take it today. What's the better time taking it
That's
today?
really it, man. Yeah. Don't say tomorrow, man.
It's
'cause
still, I know it's
I'll be
a
100 tomorrows.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
Count to 1, 2, 3 and go do it.
Exactly.
But again, I appreciate you guys coming on. It was awesome having you guys.
Always, bro. Always.
Yeah,
Shout out,
to you
respect.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and shout out to Edmonton coming up like this. You can see all the guys that we've had and these guys, everybody's growing. So make sure you guys are supporting Edmonton because it's gonna get there sooner or later. I believe in that. But we appreciate you guys watching. You could be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you decided to be with us here, and we appreciate that immensely. But for now, HustlePedia out.